Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, it's time for Hey Coach and the Nate Oats Show on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Hey Coach and the Nate Oats Show are presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Also brought to you by Ford and your local Alabama Ford dealer. Proud partners of the Crimson Tide. McCurry Van and Car Rental. Rent local with McCurry Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. And by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, here's the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart.
Welcome, everybody. Great to have you with us for another edition of Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Another full show lined up for you tonight. Coming up in the second half hour, we'll be talking with the head coach of Alabama men's basketball, Nate Oats, joining us by phone tonight, and also joining us here at Baumhower's Victory Grille, one of his standout guards, Latrell Reitzel, the veteran, one of the top three-point shooters in the country, joining us on the program tonight. Looking forward to visiting with him. And while basketball is is at the midway point of conference play, we've also got baseball that is starting up here in about a week and a half. We will have the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn, here with us in person at Baumhower's Victory Grille. Saw Coach a few minutes ago. Look forward to talking to him in just a few minutes, but also one of his great players on this Crimson Tide team, and one of the reasons there's such high expectation for the squad. Zane Adams will be joining us as well on tonight's edition of the program. Hey, fans, want you to be sure to listen to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, Tuesday and Thursdays on all Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets. Crimson Drive live Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Central, so be sure to join us for the latest there on Alabama athletics. And also keep up with everything Alabama with that Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and at Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. Love doing the show from here at Baumhower's Victory Grille. Yeah, it's the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide, and it's where you can also pick up Baumhower's famous signature sauces, including hot sauce, sweet Thai chili, white barbecue, and Jamaican jerk. Baumhower's legendary sauces now available in grocery stores throughout Alabama, or you can order online, Baumhowers.com. Baumhower's Victory Grille, legendary food, legendary fun. We're back starting things off with Coach Rob Vaughn next on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When trouble trickles into your life, Alpha is right beside you, helping you wade through those waters. Ready, reliable, right when you need us. Because taking action is better than making excuses. And getting it handled is better than hoping it goes away. We'll get the cleanup process started so you can get back to what matters most. That's life with Alfa Insurance.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get 1.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid. Offer valid through February 2nd, 2026. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $28.64 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Ants in the kitchen, termites under the floor, mosquitoes in the backyard. It's a full court infestation. Don't let them score. Call Cook's Pest Control. Nobody beats Cook's when it comes to superior protection against unwanted pests. Cook's knowledgeable and courteous technicians are expertly trained to get the job done right, guaranteed. With Cook's on your team, your home's defense is unstoppable.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At CB&S Bank, tradition runs deep. Since 1906, we've been serving families and communities with stability you can count on. And today, that legacy of service continues. Recognized by American Banker as the 16th best performing bank nationally and number 1 in Alabama in their asset category. Being a team member is who we are, which is why we're proud to support University of Alabama Athletics. So, bank with the best. Visit cbsbank.com to learn more. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Alabama Education Association is the member-driven voice of Alabama's education employees. AEA members are teachers, education support professionals, administrators, professors, future teachers, and education retirees. Joining the Alabama Education Association has never been easier. Use their new online membership for a fast, safe, and secure way to join today. Visit myaea.org to learn more.
Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us here at Baumhower's Victory Grill as we continue on with Hey Coach. This segment presented by Coca-Cola. Passionate fans like the ones you hear here and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. That is a winning combo. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. Head coach Rob Vaughn, Bama Baseball, joining us here at Baumhower's Victory Grill. Coach, always good to see you. Glad I'm sure you're glad to be. I started to say inside where it's warm, but dadgum, this is the warmest it's been in about 3 weeks, isn't it?
Everybody lied to me, man. Like, they told me when I was leaving Maryland we weren't going to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, it's part of coming here.
No, man, it's been – last 2 weeks been a lot of adjustment to schedules. And, man, it's like the weekends have been the thing. The weeks have been pretty fine. And then the weekends has been cold or snowy or icy or something, so we've had to adjust off that a little bit. But we're able to get our work in and should have a decent week. I know we got some rain tomorrow, but should have a decent week to kind of get on schedule for the last week before we get going.
Having the indoor facility you have helps dramatically, I know, but there's nothing like for baseball being outside. Just with the cold weather period, whether it's the extreme that we've just had or most years, late January, February, that's a tough time because you want to get work in. I understand it is cold, but you're going to have to push through it a little bit, but there's also the injury aspect that you've got to guard against in your sport as much or more than any other due to the weather.
No doubt. And I think that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to walk that line. Like, it's real hard to talk about toughness when it's a little uncomfortable when we go running for the hills. But at the same time, man, we need our guys ready to go, and you don't want to put anybody at unnecessary risk. So we kind of, you have the indoor, you're able to work through some of that. But this time of year, man, so much of it is just the gameplay, getting them back into gameplay. Something as simple as just being on your feet for 9 innings. Getting used to what that feels like is important, and you can't really simulate that unless you're outside. So, we kind of intentionally did it last Friday. We ended up, just because you see so many different things, we ended up kind of simulating a doubleheader last Friday. So we went out and played 5 innings, took a 30-minute break, sent everybody inside to kind of simulate that field and get them back out and get them going again. So just trying to throw some different things at them because that's going to come. We're going to have some cold spells this spring. We're going to have rain this spring. We're going to have delays, and we've got to be able to come out and ring the bell no matter what's thrown at us. So you are trying to walk that balance of making sure you feel prepared, that guys have got their at-bats, so we've kind of got some of the baseball feel stuff while also protecting them. I mean, we got some really high-end arms that you're trying to really be cognizant. Position players, I don't worry about that much. Those guys are, as long as you're stretched out, you're good. It's more some of those arms. You don't want to put them in risky spots. So having to be smart with that, but we got to work in. Boys look good.
Yeah, and you also had a big weekend. You had a huge event for your program. Yeah, it's a fundraiser, but it's really an opportunity for people in the community to get to be around your guys, and a lot of folks that are here were there. Forgive me, first pitch?
Yeah, first
pitch dinner, and a really cool event. You had it in the South Zone this year, the football stadium. So tell us about the event and what that really does for your program.
Yeah, I mean, there's a piece of it that's absolutely a fundraising component, right? In college athletics and the world we're in now, there's elements of continuing to raise money and continue to raise funds. It's more important now than ever. But at the same time, I think it's a time for these fans to interact with our players, for them to interact with us. And, I think as the rules continue to change in college athletics, I think sometimes it's so easy to forget that they're 18-year-old kids across from you out on that field, and I think it humanizes them a little bit when you can sit and have a conversation with them. Our guys work the tables. We thought it up last year. We do a giant bingo thing, and bingo gets rowdy at that thing. It's awesome. And I remember the first time they said, we're going to do bingo. I was like, that's the corniest thing I've ever heard. We're going to play bingo. Nobody wants to play bingo. And it's awesome. So there's a silent auction component. There's a bingo component. Our guys are literally serving the tables. They're going to get food. They're getting bingo cards. They're kind of the servers of the table, and they just interact with them. And I think there's, like I said, there's just an awesome piece of humanity that comes out in that. And you get to see not the guy that's standing out at shortstop and Justin LeBron, but you get to see the human he is on display. And I think that's what I think as fans and as supporters make it dang proud to have kids like that in the program.
That's exactly the word I was going to use. It's like a proud parent, because these are young people, and I get a chance to experience it in multiple sports, as you know, and we talked about this before. In the past, when there was distance, it's just college athletics and the fan base. But now, to me, one of the best things with NIL that's happened is the direct interaction that does get to take place, because we do at Alabama have so many great young people that you want them to understand who it is they're supporting, who they're fans of, and they're such great representatives of the school.
And I think that's the coolest thing. I think, NIL by us coaches, gets bashed all the time, right? It's ruined the sport. It's done this. It's done that. And, man, it's different. It's a different world than it was 5 to 7 years ago. But I think you're exactly right. I think you get to see the personality of some of these guys. You get to see some of that come out. You get to see how they interact with business owners and people that's a little bit uncomfortable for them. I mean, these guys are real comfortable standing on a mound in front of 10,000 people, but, man, having a conversation with somebody about business, about this, it's different for them, and it gets them out there. It gets their personality out there, lets them get some real-world experience in that, and man, it's a really neat thing. And so, like I said, I think we can sit here and bash it for what it is, but that's just the way it's gone. So I've told my wife 1,000 times, if I don't like it, I got to go start selling cars or do something different, because it just is what it is. Here we are. So, but I do think there's some really neat things, if you peel the onion back, that this world of college athletics has done for us, and getting to see these kids as more than just the dude that's out on the field has been a really cool component of that.
All right, we're going to talk to you a little bit later in our visit about the season that's coming up in a week and a half, and how people can get their season tickets if they haven't done so already. But also, we're going to talk directly with one of those players you're talking about. Zane Adams is joining us on the other side of the break. So glad to have you with us for Hey Coach. You can submit your questions for the show at the UA Athletics Hey Coach live stream on Facebook or YouTube, or give us a call on the hotline 877-202-BAMA. We are back with more Rob Vaughn in just a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics, with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide. The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide.
First pitch on the way. Swung on, another deep drive, straightaway center field. Braunschweig all the way back. He will reach for it, but he can't grab this one. It's gone for a solo homer. Jason Torres with a solo shot to center has put Alabama in front 4-3 over UAB in the ninth.
It is right around the corner. In fact, a week from this coming Friday, Bama baseball opens up its season. A weekend series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Joe. We're talking Bama baseball here on Hey Coach. I'm Chris Stewart, Coach Rob Vaughn with us, and we also welcome in Coach, one of your standouts on the Hill. We'll let you do the formal introduction to Zane Adams, if you will.
Yeah, he'll be nice and embarrassed here.
That's fine.
No, it's funny. Zane and I, weirdly enough, have been tied together for a really long time. You know, I was at Maryland. I got the job here. And I remember my mom telling me, she was like, hey, one of the incoming players, you went to high school with his mom. I was like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, like, we go through it, and Amanda and I, Zane's mom, we went to high school together. She was a couple years in front of me, but knew her all through high school, and so it was a really surreal moment that first year when I go knocking on their door. And me and Zane had never met, but, man, it was like we were frozen in time. I hadn't seen Amanda in 20 years, and I go knock on the door. She opens it, and it's like, hey, why don't you let your kid come play for me, you know? How's that go? So it was a cool full circle moment. But, man, Zaner's everything we want, guys. And I joke about embarrassing him, but this is a kid that chose Alabama for one, to commit here. But the draft was a real thing for him out of high school. If he wanted to sign, he could have easily signed out of high school, turned down any opportunity there, walked away from what a lot of guys probably wouldn't walk away from in order to come here. Again, was draft eligible as a sophomore last year due to his age. And, man, I remember sitting in the office with him, and it's like, man, we ain't done here yet. I need another run at this thing. And so, again, just chose this place. I think so much of recruiting, you're trying to convince kids to come in. This guy chose, and he's a Texas boy, chose Alabama and wants to be here and leave a mark here. And, man, we're thrilled he did.
Zane, tell us why Bama was right for you even before Coach Vaughn became the head coach.
Well, I will say I have a lot of family from Alabama, so yeah. I'm from Texas, but I've been an Alabama fan since I was a baby. Like,
so you were raised right.
Yes, exactly.
That's the main thing. You grew up Texas, but you were raised right.
No,
That's good.
I don't like burnt orange.
Good.
I don't like it.
Or any other shade for that matter.
No, sir.
Good deal. So Bama fan from a distance. And tell me about, what it's like getting called and being told by the University of Alabama, hey, we think you can play. We'd love for you to play for us. We're recruiting you. I would imagine that was beyond a special moment for you.
Yeah, that was unreal. Just like that's the team I grew up watching. And like that moment when they called and I was like this is the team I grew up watching and they're calling me, wanting me to go there. Yeah, it was a special moment for sure.
Beyond the stats, tell us about this guy, what makes him so effective and a guy that you rely so heavily on.
Yeah, I think as a coach, you just want reliability. You want to know what you're getting out of guys. And Zane's the exact guy you draw up as an arm. I mean, it's physical, it's left-handed, it's continued getting better and better through his career. But, man, when Zane's got his A-plus stuff, you don't have a chance. But what makes him who he is when he doesn't have his best stuff, he's just a competitor, and and it might not see it. He's not the boisterous pound on his chest, do all that stuff. But I say it all the time, man. If you're real tough dudes, you don't have to tell everybody you're tough. You just do tough stuff, and that's
right.
Zane, you know. And when the rubber meets the road, when a lot of guys quit, when a lot of guys roll over, he leaned in and he worked harder and got better. And we just know what we're going to get out of him. And I think that's what you're looking for as a coach is, yes, it's high-end stuff. It's got the ability to do that. But, man, he loves to compete. This place means the world to him. And, man, we're fortunate he gets to tow the rubber for us every weekend.
Talk to me about the rotation in Zane's piece of it, but what you're looking at. I know it's early still.
Yeah.
But I say it's early. Good grief. We're less than 2 weeks away from the opener.
No doubt.
It's that time.
You know, pretty fortunate coming back this year. Tyler Fay kind of broke through in the rotation last year for us. Tyler's been here, was a walk-on from Nebraska, converted into kind of a bullpen guy. Man, we threw him into the fire at LSU last year on Thursday night against Cade Anderson, and he outpitched Cade for 5 innings and was kind of his coming out party, and kind of the same like Zane could have signed this summer. Had a lot of teams interested in him and walked away from that to come back for one more ride. And so you look at Zaner and T-Fay, kind of a really good way to start the weekend in whatever order we end up putting those guys in. But veterans, guys that have been there, guys we trust, strike throwers, competitors. And then Sunday, I think, is an exciting situation. You got a guy like Matt Heiberger, who's been a bullpen guy for us, but is an ultra competitor, ultra gamer, that pitched a lot in the Cape, started up in the Cape this summer, is a weapon there. So just figuring out, man, is that the role for him, or is the fireman in the bullpen the role for him, the closer the role for him? You got a young freshman in Miles Upchurch that, man, when Zane and T-Fay go on, we have him and a guy named Luke Smyers, another freshman, that are going to be the next two to step into that role. So are those guys ready? You know, both have had great preseasons up to this point. One's left, one's right. Both compete their tails off. Then you have a guy, Bobby Alcock, who Bobby started for us last year, was SEC Pitcher of the Week at Texas A&M last year. So you have an option in him, JT Blackwood. So that third spot, it's not strictly who's the best starter. It's what's the best combination. Who do we need to keep in the bullpen? You know, if you tell me I can flip the ball from T-Fay to Matt Heiberger and that's a win on Friday night, that's a hard thing to walk away from. You know, so just figuring out how those pieces work. We feel really good about 2 of the 3. We feel great about our third options. It's just which route we decide to go.
It's a great luxury to have. We're going to spend more time with Coach Rob Vaughn and his lefty pitcher, Zane Adams, as we continue here from Baumhower's Victory Grill. Hey, Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance, auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. We're back with more in just a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Clyde Mays Whiskey, the official state spirit of Alabama, perfected under the Alabama Pines and a proud partner of Alabama Athletics. Now officially bottled in Troy at the Connector Ridge Distillery. Bold spirit, southern roots, roll Clyde.
Don't stop planning for your future. Don't stop investing in your kids' education. Don't stop dreaming of that new home. And don't stop growing your business. Whatever you're passionate or dreaming about, don't stop. Because when you have a bank you can trust, you have the confidence to take on tomorrow. Speak with a Trustmark associate today for advice on achieving your goals. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Coach Oats, great game today.
The team found another gear. They kept grinding, didn't quit, and found a way to deliver another victory.
Like Ford F-Series trucks.
Right. The way you become America's best-selling truck for 48 consecutive years is delivering legendary performance and capability in the big moments, like today.
Thanks, Coach. For great offers on a new Ford truck, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of Alabama basketball.
Roll Tide.
Based on 1977 through 2024 calendar year industry-reported total sales.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
Clyde Mays Whiskey, the official state spirit of Alabama, perfected under the Alabama Pines and a proud partner of Alabama Athletics. Now officially bottled in Troy at the Connector Ridge Distillery. Bold spirit, southern roots, roll Clyde.
Domino's delivers game day across Tuscaloosa and the surrounding area. Locally owned in Tuscaloosa for 30-plus years, the team at Domino's is proud to be a supporter of Alabama basketball and athletics across the capstone. Domino's would like to thank our customers for supporting our local business for over 30 years. Make Domino's your choice on game days year-round. Domino's is proud to deliver your Alabama Crimson Tide game days anytime. Just visit RollDomino's.com. Thanks for your business and Roll Tide.
Coleman Coliseum gives the Tide a big home court advantage. When it comes to your home, count on Tri-Green Equipment to give you a big advantage with our lineup of John Deere equipment and tried and true expertise. We'll help you call the right plays on your property, and we're always there when you need an assist. From riding mowers, compact utility tractors, gators to agriculture equipment, we've got serious game. Stop by one of our locations or visit TriGreenEquipment.com. Proud sponsors of Alabama Crimson Tide basketball.
Swung on and crushed. High, deep left field. You can't forget about it. Richie from the Bronx with a 2-run homer, and it's now the Crimson Tide 8 and the Golden Eagles 4.
You'll be hearing a lot more of the voice of Bama baseball, Roger Hoover, very soon as the Tide opens up the season Friday night at home. Not this Friday, but next Friday night. We ain't worried about Friday the 13th coming around, Coach. A little afternoon baseball. I love, as somebody who's still doing some early season games with you, really appreciate the 4 o'clock games rather than 6 or 6:30 for first pitch on a lot of those.
Trying to get you home at a decent hour, and it's play the weather a little bit. I like playing under the lights, so when those 6 o'clock games start, man, it's a lot of fun. It's special at the Joe.
Zane, I'm curious for you what it's been like to see Alabama baseball excitement grow again for this program, consistent participant in the NCAA regionals, and those Friday night crowds, what that's like for you as a player to be a part of that.
It's a big deal to all of us. Whenever we're playing on the field and we got the support of all the fans behind us, it definitely helps. Maybe gets a mile, some velo out a little bit.
Sure, exactly.
Throw a little
extra
bit harder.
Juice.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I went with the wrong hand. Not that applies on radio, but I should have gone left hand for you. The student section too, the right field Ragers has become a thing over the years. That's pretty special, and I think it's great you guys go out and actually celebrate with them after a win and kind of make the victory lap with those guys. That's a pretty cool deal.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no. We love doing that. Just like, especially Bryce, like getting to know them. And it's like we know a lot of the right field Rangers, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Those guys are winded when they get back, though. I tell you what,
that's
those
a long
guys
way
are
out there.
sucking wind when they get back to left field to see me.
It's not that it's a long way out there, but you hop that many times to give a high five to guys. That'll get your attention quick. Tell me about some position guys, and I know it starts with Justin LeBron because of now the fact crazy think he's a veteran, but he is. The phrase diamond in the rough certainly applies with him. And for those that don't know the story, he was a good kid, could be a good defender. He turned out to maybe be one of the top draft picks in all of college baseball this year, or pro baseball at the end of this year.
No doubt, man. I give credit to the previous staff for kind of that process in recruiting him, and that's what you got to find, man. That's the key. Everybody can go out and see the best player in the country. My mom could go out there and find that guy. That's not hard. It's the guy that has some tools, but maybe it's not there yet. That's what we've spent our career, me and my staff. That's what we spent our career from our time at Maryland to JJ's at FAU. That's what we've done is we've had to find that guy that had some pieces that were really good, and you had to develop them. And that's kind of been our MO from the rip. And I think Justin was perfectly in line for that. It was a kid that was 150 pounds soaking wet coming in as a freshman that's 195 pounds and has muscles that I didn't know existed right now. So he's just developed into a complete player. He flies around the base. He can really run. He can really defend. He can hit for power. He's the linchpin of this thing, but it's really neat to have some dudes around him. We have some depth on the positional side that we haven't had. And, we got some guys banged up, but still feel like we have depth to go function and go do some things. So we're excited about this position player group.
Let's get a phone call real quick from Pee Wee down in Grand Bay. We normally hear from you talking hoops. But first question brought to us by Alabama 811. Help prevent injuries, outages, and loss of life. Call 811 or visit al811.com before you dig. It's free. It's simple. It's the law. It's Pee Wee down in Grand Bay. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Coach Vaughn, how are you, sir?
I couldn't be any better, Pee Wee. How are you, baby?
I'm doing good, man. Coach, I was wondering, after last season, when you kind of self-assessed the entire season and you made a plan going forward for this year, how have you progressed towards that plan of what you wanted to do, what you wanted to do better, and how you wanted to do it? How have you progressed to that?
Man, that's an awesome question. I think we did some really cool things last year. 40 games for the first time since 2002. Went undefeated in midweeks, won 17 conference games. Some things that on paper you look at and say, man, that's a heck of a year. But I think as a staff and as a team, we looked at last year and said, man, we played 2 games down in Hattiesburg and went home while everybody else got to keep playing, and that's not good enough for this place. And so for us, a big piece of this was just putting a huge emphasis on finishing, putting a huge emphasis on being the best version of ourselves late in the year. And how do we do that? How do we stay healthy? How does our strength and conditioning play into that? How does the kind of the rotation of players? That's a big piece of depth. If you looked at the lineups I ran out last year, it was about the same 10 or 11 guys every weekend, and you felt like on the pitching staff, same thing. We had a superstar All-American in Carson Osmer, but, man, just had to use him way more than I'd like to use him, and I think because of that, we didn't have the best version of Carson Osmer late. We got the competitor, but we had a guy that was kind of limping to the finish line because we just had to use him so much. So we went into this offseason really trying to create some more depth. I think the first 2 years were spent trying to get the product right on the field, and now it's like, man, we like the product. How do we create the depth to keep these guys as fresh as we can humanly be? And our recruiting coordinator, Mike Morrison, did an incredible job of kind of assembling a group of guys that, man, they're cut from the same cloth. They're grinders. There are a lot of guys that have been told at some point in their career, you're not good enough. And, man, that's us. That's who we are. That's what we are. That's what Nate Oats and his staff are, man. That's that blue collar, that grit, that toughness. That's what Alabama is. And we wanted to make sure we had a group of dudes on the field that embodied that. And so, I think we've done a good job addressing some of those. We've had 3 really good weeks of practice leading up to today, and we got about 10 days left before they start counting. So, we still got work to do. We're very far from a finished product, but man, I like this group, and I like the way they put the work in.
Opening night, thank you for the call, Pee Wee. Coach, opening night, opening series, and you got to help me on which one it is. I'm sorry.
Washington State.
Washington State, that's right. Washington State, the Cougs come to town, and playing them not this weekend, but the next for 3 games, and looking forward to that. Zane, appreciate the time, man. Always good to see you. Looking forward to the season, seeing you on the hill. Coach, thank you so very much, as always, for the time.
Love it. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Coach Rob Vaughn and lefty standout Zane Adams joining us here for this edition of Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance, auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Coach Nate Oats joining us by phone next on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Basketball at Alabama means one thing: time to dunk. And we're not just talking about on the court. At Fusakli's, we're dunking our hand-battered chicken fingers straight into our house-made sauces and washing it down with our fresh-squeezed lemonade. Whether you're heading to Coleman Coliseum or watching from home, make Fusakli's your pregame stop. Hot, fresh, and made to order, just the way Tide fans like it. Fusakli's, proud partner of the Crimson Tide.
Whether you're hiking the trails, tailgating before tip-off, or cheering courtside, Mountain High Outfitters has the gear to keep every Bama fan ready for adventure. From Patagonia and On Running to Yeti and Free People Movement, you'll find all your favorite outdoor and lifestyle brands. Visit Mountain High Outfitters in-store or online at mountainhighoutfitters.com.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide. The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast.
Mylon on the other end, trying to step back three for the tie. Oh, what a move right in the face of Amari Abram. A beautiful bank first three-pointer, and we are deadlocked again at 57. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you with us for Hey Coach and the Nate Oats Show. We had a couple of changes on our lineup this evening. Originally scheduled to talk with Latrell Reitzel, but practice got moved, and we've got Coach Oats that'll be joining us by phone in just a couple of minutes. So we're going to go ahead and get another break out of the way. I do want to tell you first, though, that you can get game day ready at Alumni Hall. It's your ultimate Crimson Tide shopping experience. Shop top brands like Nike, Champion, and Columbia, hats, accessories, and all your game day gear. Head to Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa or shop alumnihall.com. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Roll Tide and shop Alumni Hall. We're taking one more break. We're coming back and talking with Coach Nate Oats here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tide pride. When I'm carrying the University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Bama gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Roll Tide from the cashier, too. Visit Regions.com/GoBama to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
This is Jack's country, and on game day, nobody shows up empty-handed. Make a winning play with Jack's Catering. Hand-breaded chicken fingers, crispy fried chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and all the southern sides your crew craves. Whether it's a game watch or a family get-together, Jack's brings the flavor that scores every time. Order now at eatatjacks.com or on the Jack's app. Jack's, all about the South.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bama fans, why wait to start your college journey? With the University of Alabama Early College, high school students can earn college credit from UA now, online or on campus. Students are eligible after completing the 9th grade with a 3.0 GPA or higher. Thousands of students across Alabama and the United States are already part of the Crimson Tide tradition. So don't just cheer for the Tide, join it. UA Early College. Legends start here. Visit earlycollege.ua.edu to learn more. Roll Tide.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the University Student Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Being a Chevron car these days has been quite the adventure. Miami to Seattle, ocean to ocean. I've stopped at so many states and collected so many bumper stickers. Sometimes I feel like a moving passport book. It's just so great what I can do with Chevron with Techron, because it gives me unbeatable mileage and keeps my engine clean. Plus, there are so many Chevrons along the way. Now the only thing I'm worried about is where to go next, and where to put all my new Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
Houston on the drive, swings it to Reitzel one more time. Red, smoking, hot, Latrell Reitzel, timeout, Missouri. And we welcome in the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Coach Nate Oats, joining us by phone tonight, as I know the schedules got altered. Coach, appreciate you being on. Thanks so much. And again, I know your team's probably ready to go back to work after a tough one yesterday, a rare Sunday game, and also rare to struggle in the manner in which your squad did against obviously a great Florida team.
Yeah, no, we didn't play well. Obviously, the turnovers killed us. Points off turnover, 25 zips. I don't think I've ever been involved with a game like that. So we got to do a way better job taking care of the ball. Do a better job of having everybody ready to go. So, go a little longer in video today. Started them twice. We usually don't practice the day after the game. We had to do a little bit. We got to get some work done. So it was disappointing to go from that Missouri game where we had 19 assists, 7 turnovers to playing Florida where we ended up with 18 turnovers. So we've got to take care of the ball better. I didn't think we were bad. The first 10 minutes of that game we were pretty locked in, and as soon as we started turning it over, it's just damn kind of broke. And I thought we kind of lost heart a little bit and didn't give the same effort on defense once we started turning the ball over either.
Coach, as you went back and watched the film, tell me what you attribute that to, if you can. I mean, I know Florida's very good defensively, but what did you see from your squad that's got to be cleaned up in order to play at the level and the standard you're accustomed to?
Yeah, I mean, we got to handle their physicality better, and we got to have better switch attacks. I also think we need to play faster. Most of our turnovers came when we played too slow. Let the defense get set, let them get into us, let the physicality take over. If we'd have, played faster, pushed the ball up the forward attack before they were set, I think we would have eliminated some of the turnovers. And when they were back and they were switching pick and rolls, we didn't do a great job with our switch attacks. It's a little disappointing because we spent all offseason working on that, and I thought, there's a team that really didn't switch people. At least nobody liked the whole game. They pretty much switched just the whole game. And we've had games like that before where, the amount of threes we take and how much we attack off the dribble and create advantages. Like St. John's doesn't really switch 1 through 5 the whole game. They did against us, and we did a really good job, sorting it out and attacking it, even if we didn't expect it. And I didn't think we did nearly as good a job in this game, converting to a switch attack on offense. We did an awful job, to be honest with you.
Coach, it's been, I know, a challenge trying to figure out the rotation, trying to find the mix that you want for your squad. You've been able to score a good bit offensively, but talk about how the uncertainty from week to week on who's going to be available, how that impacts defense more so than the offensive end with this group.
Yeah, you got to have some chemistry. You got to know, who's switching, who's not, who you can switch with, where the help's going to come from, who you can put on what type of player. I mean, it's just all. We've had the most starting lineups I've ever had in the season, and we're not even barely to the halfway point. Hopefully, depending on how postseason goes, we've got, over 15 games yet to play. And it's hard to develop chemistry. And it's not just that they're not playing the games together, they're not practicing together. Like, so, some of the guys are getting ready to play in the game after they haven't practiced all week. So it's been a bad year for injuries. We just seem to catch random ones. I know Clark's the best trainer in the business and doing everything he possibly can. We had Taylor up in Birmingham today, and he's going to be day to day. But yeah, like he was playing really well, and then he wasn't even able to play 2 minutes in the game. So, that's obviously a little frustrating, but it's sports. It happens. You can't make excuses. You got to figure out which guys putting on the floor that can get you a win. And we've got depth for a reason, and we need guys to be able to step up and make plays for us.
Amari Allen's one of those guys, Coach, that's battled the injuries and battled through them, and you got him back and was able to play a lot of minutes the other day. But you could tell he wasn't quite in the same rhythm because, like you referenced, he hadn't been able to practice quite as much. Tell us how he's doing today after going through the game and the strain of yesterday, and how he obviously factors heavily into the plans going forward.
Yeah, we didn't do a whole lot in practice today, but he looked better. I mean, he's got to get back to playing. It's hard when you haven't practiced for about 3 weeks. He made some, he missed some shots that normally would have made. I would have hoped he missed some reads at the rim that normally would have had better. It's just he's a little rusty. He had 3 turnovers himself, and we had a lot of the guards contributed to turnovers. Barron, Biz, him, all of them really.
Coach Nate Oats joining us here by phone as we're at Baumhower's Victory Grill for, hey, Coach, the schedule got thrown off a little bit tonight as he's kind enough to take some time away from practice and join us here on phone. Coach, I want to take just a second to talk about the future. You picked up a huge recruit that was announced in the last couple of days. I think it's pronounced Quaden Samuels for the 2026 class, a pickup that obviously you're very, very excited about.
No, very excited. He's a really good player. He got size, more guard, wing, whatever you want to call. He's a basketball player. I mean, he can basketball, shoot, can score to the high level, one of the best scorers in high school basketball. Got good size where, switchable on defense, can rebound. I love the kid. I watched some of the impressed and fell in love with him. He's one of our favorite players in the entire class. I think he's got a chance to be really good in our system. He'll be able to rebound and bring the ball to the floor. He'll play with, you'd like to get those versatile guards that you can play, all different. You can play a bunch of them together. You put them on the floor. They got size. They can handle. They can shoot. He shoots it really well. So we're super excited about him. Plays in a really high level high school basketball there in the DMV area. Played high level. Played in the EYBL. Was one of the best in the EYBL this summer.
Coach, given the landscape of recruiting these days with transfer portal, everything that's factored in now, how do you perceive high school recruiting or the recruiting of high school players, and where does that fall for you? What specifically are you looking for in them when it comes to – and how many, I guess, now are you looking to on an average year?
Yeah, that's a good question. We haven't set a specific number per se. It's basically we've said, they either have to be able to contribute right away and be impactful, which we think Caden will be. And, also with Taurus, he's having a senior year too. So the guys that we're going after hard have to be able to contribute right away, or everybody in their camp has to understand it's a developmental deal where it's going to be a couple of years, because you don't want to bring a guy and expect him to play. He doesn't play. He just transfers. That's kind of pointless. So,
right.
But the transfer portal, you can transfer and play right away. Back when we had Brandon, Clowney, and Jaden, and we started 3 freshmen, and we were one team in the country. Duke started, I think, at least 3 freshmen last year. Two of them just had 49 and 34, I believe, playing against each other on Thursday. And then they had Malawak, and they were the best team in the country. They didn't win it last year, but a lot of people had them as the best team in the country. I still think if you get the right guys, you can win with freshmen in college basketball. Now, we'll see where all the rulings go. You're going to be able to continue to bring in 23-year-old freshmen with 4 years of eligibility that have played 4 or 5 years of professional ball in Europe. If you can do that, and all of a sudden you're trying to play 25, 26, 27-year-olds every night, you're going to have to maybe rethink some stuff. But no, we're going to continue to recruit great freshmen. We've done well with them and win at a high level with them.
Coach, the final words brought to us by McCurry, Van, and Car Rental. If you would, wrap things up for us tonight, talking about the opponent that will come to Coleman Coliseum on Wednesday. It's the top team in the standings in the SEC as Bucky McMillan and Texas A&M come to town for a 6 o'clock tip.
Yeah, Bucky's done a really good job. He come in, put a system in that nobody else is really playing. He plays fast, up-tempo like we do on offense, but he's got the pressing on defense. I think he's caught some people off guard. They play hard at shooting on the floor. They keep the floor spread. They're good. I mean, shoot, they're 3 games out of us right now in SEC standings in a week. Good or not, we got to play well. So they're going to be a tough team to play well against because they play so hard. So we got to get back to where we're playing hard, trying to be the hardest playing team on the floor, where we take care of the ball, make unselfish decisions with the ball, because they're going to put you in all kinds of spots. We're going to have to make quick decisions with the ball, and if we're holding too long and making the wrong decisions, it's going to be turnovers. We just had 18 turnovers. So, game, we got to take care of the ball. They turn people a lot. It'll be a fun game. Both teams want to get up and down. It'll be, fast-paced. We're going to have to be ready to go.
Coach, always appreciate the time. Thanks so much, and we will see you on Wednesday night.
All right. Thanks. Wednesday. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Coach Nate Oats joining us. Again, the final word presented by McCurry, Van, and Car Rental. Want you to get game day ready. Again, at Alumni Hall, it's your ultimate Crimson Tide shopping experience. You can learn more at alumnihall.com. We're coming back and wrapping things up right after this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide. The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Coach Oats, great game today.
The team found another gear. They kept grinding, didn't quit, and found a way to deliver another victory.
Like Ford F-Series trucks.
Right. The way you become America's best-selling truck for 48 consecutive years is delivering legendary performance and capability in the big moments, like today.
Thanks, Coach. For great offers on a new Ford truck, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of Alabama basketball.
Roll Tide.
Based on 1977 through 2024 calendar year industry reported total sales.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike, but they all have one thing in common. They're all strong. A judgment-free environment where you're free to feel your strongest and be your best self with memberships that start at $15 a month. Find your nearest club and join today. We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness. Hours, amenities, and offers vary by club. Check out planetfitness.com or stop by your local club for more information. Must be 18 years old to enroll or 13 to 17 with parent guardian.
At Red Diamond, we take a lot of things lightly. Dog on the couch? Sure, that's fine. Wearing socks or sandals? Why not? But sweet tea? Around here, sweet tea is a way of life. One of the unspoken rules. Just 3 simple ingredients: tea, water, and sugar, and that's it. Always refreshing. Always Red Diamond. Find us in your local refrigerated section. Red Diamond Sweet Tea. The perfect sip does exist.
Back to wrap things up on this edition of Hey Coach. Time for us to look at what's on tap next for Bama. It's presented by our friends at Coors Light. Crimson Tide fans choose to chill with an ice-cold Coors Light. Next up, the matchup with Texas A&M Wednesday at 6 here in Tuscaloosa for Bama men's hoops. Coverage starts at 5 o'clock on the network, again with a 6 o'clock Central tip. The game sponsored by Visit Tuscaloosa. It can be heard right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Speaking of, you get a rope hat from Visit Tuscaloosa for admission to the game. That's for some of the first fans that make their way to Coleman Coliseum. And also an added feature at 5:15, Ryan Williams will be in the lobby of the South Concourse. He's there courtesy of Cook's Pest Control, a meet and greet with the Bama football standout. So Ryan Williams there again in the South Concourse, courtesy of Cook's Pest Control, 5:15 to 5:45. Our studio engineer tonight has been Kelly Freeman. The Vice President, General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. For our, producer engineer Tom Stipe and our social media producer Ethan Carabin, I'm Chris Stewart. Thanks for joining us. Roll Tide and good night from Baumhower.